I opened a mystery box from the dark web. What I found inside was horrifying. When the whole dark web mystery box trend started on TikTok, I saw dozens of videos of people opening up boxes filled with junk that they tried to pass off as creepy and sinister. I decided I would try and sell my own mystery boxes, but I never could have guessed that this mistake would ruin my life forever. Everything went smoothly at first. I had some cardboard boxes stuffed in my closet that turned out to be the perfect size for the job. Some rusty screwdrivers proved perfect as my murder weapons. My desk drawer offered up a surprising number of old flash drives, which I downloaded dozens of creepy videos on. Finally, some expired sinus tablets provided me with some mysterious dark web substances. I should have stopped before going any further. Maybe I could have saved my life. By the time I was ready to go to bed, I was the proud owner of my new website, the Emporium of Mysteries. For $50, anyone could be the proud owner of my mystery box. The next morning I went looking for customers. I messaged a few of the smaller channels with some of my burner accounts I made and left a few comments on their latest videos. You should do a dark web unboxing video. You know what would be really cool? Unboxing something from the dark web. I bet you'd get millions of views. Then all I had to do was sit back and wait. By the end of the day, I had 6 purchases. Not much all put together, but enough to help put food on the table. By the end of the afternoon, I had the boxes ready to ship. I wasn't looking to scam these people after all. They got to make their stupid videos and I got to eat. Everybody was happy, or so I thought. I sold a few more over the next few weeks, but eventually, interest died down. I gradually forgot about my time as a deep web merchant, until last Friday. When I got home from work, there was a package waiting for me outside my apartment door. When I picked it up and examined it, I realized that it was one of my mystery boxes. It looked like I had an unhappy customer, but the reality was so much worse. I took it inside and opened it up. It was empty, except for a flash drive that I didn't recognize. I was curious what was on it, but I wasn't about to let some disgruntled hacker infect my computer, so I dug out an old laptop that I hardly used anymore and plugged it in. It was full of pictures. Pictures of my hometown, of my apartment, of me. Whoever sent me this had been following me, had been inside my home. Staring at those pictures, I started to realize just how out of my depth I was. The realization that someone had not only invaded my life, but had been inside my very home was profoundly disturbing. My heart raced as I considered the implications of this horrifying violation. I clicked on one of the photos labeled Your Past. It displayed an old family photo album filled with dozens of pictures from my childhood, family gatherings, and vacations. Panic surged through me as I realized the depth of their intrusion. But then, as I dug deeper into the folder labeled Your Present, I came across something that made my blood run cold. It was a photo of me from just a couple minutes ago, taken from behind, as I was looking out of my apartment window. Just as the fear threatened to overwhelm me, a chilling message popped up on the screen. You thought you could profit from the dark web, but now it's time for your own mystery to unfold. I desperately searched the laptop for any clue about the sender's identity, but there was nothing. It was as if they had left no trace, no breadcrumbs to follow. My mind raced, trying to make sense of the situation. What did they want from me? What dark secrets did they hold over my life? Just as I was about to give up in defeat, I noticed a new folder on the flash drive, ominously labeled, Your Future. My trembling hands opened it, revealing a series of photos that sent shivers down my spine. They were images of events that hadn't happened yet, pictures of me in various stages of distress, in places I'd never seen before. It was as if someone had glimpsed into a horrifying future, and I was the star of their nightmarish vision. The flash drive contained one final folder, one I hadn't noticed before, labeled, Your Choice. My trembling fingers opened it, and a single image appeared on the screen. It was a photograph of me, sitting in front of the laptop, exactly as I was at that very moment. It was a live feed. As I stared at my own terrified reflection, a message flashed on the screen. The choice is yours, but every choice has a consequence. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. This was more than just a game. It was a twisted obsession, a horrifying plan for my life that I couldn't comprehend. And as I stared at those ominous photographs, I couldn't escape the feeling that my every move was now being watched by a malevolent force beyond my control. My trembling fingers fumbled for my phone as panic tightened its grip on me. I needed help. I dialed 911, desperate for the reassuring voice of the emergency operator. But as the seconds ticked by, the call didn't connect. A chilling dread washed over me as I realized that something was terribly wrong with my phone. I frantically redialed, but the result was the same. No signal, no connection, just silence on the other end. My heart pounded in my chest as I faced the horrifying reality that I was on my own in this nightmare. And then, just as despair threatened to consume me, I heard it. The unmistakable sound of my front door being violently kicked open. The terror surged through me as I realized that someone was inside my apartment, someone who had followed me, watched me, and now had me cornered. I locked my door and turned back to my laptop, hoping to send a desperate message for help. But what I saw on the screen made my blood run cold. A message had appeared, and it simply said, "Look behind you."